This program provides information to help you stay healthy, happy, and full of vitality so you can contribute at the highest level to your family, friends, church, and community. I start each show with a disclaimer. It is important that you contact your healthcare provider before implementing anything I may talk about. Hello, this is Dr. Richard Betts, and you are now listening to Healthy Living. So today's topic is the truth about vitamins. And I'm actually going to throw some information about minerals as well. So let's go ahead and get started. So vitamins and minerals are essential for living as air and water is. Not only do they keep your body healthy and functional, they protect you from many variety of diseases. So let's talk about vitamins first. There are two types of vitamins. You have water soluble and you have fat soluble. So the water soluble, this means the body expels what it does not absorb. And fat soluble is where leftover amounts are stored in the liver and fat tissues as reserves. Now, the water-soluble vitamins are the 8 B vitamins, which include B1, B2, B3, B5, B6, B7, B9, and B12. And vitamin C is a water-soluble vitamin. The fat-soluble vitamins are A, D, E, and K. Now, let me give you a little bit of information about specifically vitamin C. Interestingly, vitamin C, most animals actually produce, kind of like we do as humans produce vitamin D with getting exposure to sunlight. The problem with vitamin C, though, is that we must take in copious amounts of vitamin C on a daily basis in order to maintain proper health. Now, unfortunately, most of the foods that are out on the market that we're purchasing in the grocery store are devoid of vitamin C, or it has sprayed on vitamin C. So let me explain the difference between a vitamin C supplement or sprayed on vitamin C onto the food like cereals, etc., and the actual vitamin C. So scientists have found that a major component of vitamin C is ascorbic acid. And ascorbic acid is only one of the many components of vitamin C. Now, although it is the largest component of vitamin C, it is not the only thing that you should be ingesting. I use the analogy of a car engine. So in order for the engine to work, you have to have many parts to the engine in order for it to work properly, move you from point A to point B. Unfortunately, if we take out one of those components of the engine, for instance, the spark plugs, well, if the spark plugs are not a part of that engine, is the engine going to start? The answer is absolutely positively no. Especially when at least one or two spark plugs go out, what happens? The engine does not start. The same thing holds true with vitamin C. Vitamin C as ascorbic acid only does not do all of the jobs that vitamin C can do inside of your body. So when we just take ascorbic acid, the question is are we doing any good for our bodies? The answer is yes, we're doing some good, but it's not what we could be doing. And this is one of the reasons that vitamin C tends to have to be taken at high dosages, anywhere from 1,000 to 3,000 milligrams. Now, the interesting thing about vitamin C is that when we take at levels of 3,000 milligrams or more, what does the body do? And anybody who has actually done this in the past will recognize that the body actually tries to flush it out. We increase the potential of the body wanting to get rid of it as quickly as possible, and diarrhea sets in. So you know that you have taken way too much vitamin C when you get diarrhea. Now, the question is that, well, if I'm constipated, will that help me move my bowels? And the answer is, well, yeah, it will, but if your bowels are not moving properly, there is another issue. You probably don't have the other constituents of the vitamin C or the other vitamins and minerals that your body requires in order to create optimal health within the body. Now, as far as the other vitamins, the water-soluble vitamins, well, actually, let me continue with the vitamin C. So understand that I started to talk about vitamin C not being produced by humans, okay? Other animals, though, produce it, like your cows and etc. Guinea pigs do not produce it. Primates do not produce it. So we need to continuously have a vitamin C source where we are consuming vitamin C on a regular basis. But it must be a full spectrum vitamin C, okay? And that's really important. And there are very few supplements out there, and certainly there are no sprayed on vitamin C that have all of the components of vitamin C. But there are very few supplement companies out there that do have the full spectrum of vitamin C. And that's what I used with my patients. And interestingly, when I use that with my patients, oftentimes they don't need to take as much vitamin C, and they get amazing results with that. Now, as far as minerals are concerned, so there are many minerals, but certain ones are necessary for optimal health. Now, minerals are split into two groups. You have major and trace minerals. When I talk about major, I mean they're not necessarily more important. It's just that you need more of them to do what is needed and give the body the greatest impact for optimal health. The best approach to ensure you get a variety of vitamins and minerals and in the proper amounts is to adopt a broad, healthy diet. Now, I'm not talking about what I consider carbohydrates. Anything that's box canned or bagged in the grocery store or in the center aisles is considered carbohydrates. It has, not only does it has added sugar to it, it also has added chemicals, added antimicrobials that affect the body in a negative fashion. Now, fruits and vegetables, whole grains, beans, and legumes, and proteins and dairy products are important to get good nutritional vitamins and minerals. Now, the good news is that many common foods contain multiple mineral and vitamin sources, so it is easy to meet your daily needs from everyday meals. Now, I use this sparingly, this comment sparingly, because unless you are eating foods that are as close to the original as possible, most likely you are not getting the varied nutrients that your body needs in order to maintain optimal health. Those of you who have been diagnosed with particular diseases, as well as are on medications, you are a perfect example of you're not getting the right amount of nutrients in order to optimize your health. I've put together a list of best vitamins and minerals that everyone needs and the different foods that you should eat to receive these vitamins and minerals. So I'm going to go through this list. And we're going to start with the water-soluble vitamins first. So when it comes to vitamin B1, the foods that are most likely going to provide you with the vitamin B1 is things like ham, watermelon, and acorn squash. The great thing is that We are in the fall season, so there's a lot of squash that are available, and not only in the supermarket, but some of you may have been growing it in your gardens. And if you're not, you really do need to start a garden because that's where you're going to get a high amount of nutrients. Oftentimes, the foods that are grown in major farms are actually depleted in nutrients from what may grow in your very backyard. B2 is found in things like milk, yogurt, cheese, and whole grains. Now, let me discuss the dairy products. So, when we talk about milk, understand that today's milk is much different than we had when our grandparents had the milkman drop off the bottle of milk. Unfortunately, the government, in its infinite wisdom and knowledge, decided that it would be better for the population to have bastardized versions of milk. And what I mean by that is that most of the stuff that you get in the grocery store is either homogenized or pasteurized. Now, when you heat up milk, you are killing very, very vital nutrients and vitamins. So in reality, when you consume these particular products that have been homogenized or pasteurized, oftentimes it's dead nutrients. And in fact, it creates a mucus in your intestinal tract, which any nutrients that might be still available in the milk is very difficult for the body to actually absorb. And many of you have probably either found that you can't digest milk or milk products, or you have children that cannot digest milk or milk products. I have found that when individuals seek out farmers who sell them raw products, raw milk directly, that those individuals actually can digest those particular milk products extremely well, because all of the constituents that are from the milk when it comes out of the teat are all there for the body to use. And in actuality, there is an enormous amount of vitamins and minerals that the body receives through milk products. So when we talk about milk and the vitamins that you can get from dairy products, it would be concerning to me if I told you that all milk products are where you're going to get these nutrients, when in reality the nutrients may be present in these products, but the problem is that the absorption does not happen. And so basically you're drinking the stuff that does not get absorbed properly. And so I would encourage those who might have trouble with digesting milk products to seek out farmers that you can get raw milk products from. And a great website that I have found has been very, very helpful is the Weston A. Price website. And definitely go on that website to find here in the local area where you can get those milk products. So let's talk about B3. B3 is from meat, poultry, fish. Now the fish needs to be wild caught. If it's farmed, it's actually filled with antibiotics, which decrease the effectiveness of any of the vitamins or minerals that you might be getting from the fish. Other things, whole grains, mushrooms, and potatoes. B5 can get chicken, whole grains, broccoli, avocados, and mushrooms. Now, chicken is also, you have to be careful, because if the chicken is raised inside of a CAFO, unfortunately there's a lot of antibiotics that are fed to the chicken. So they found also that antibiotics help the growth. So it actually makes them bigger and more meat. So in reality, they get paid more for bigger chickens. Well, the problem is that when we ingest that chicken meat, oftentimes we ingest those antibiotics and other chemicals that might be in that chicken. And we use up our vitamins and minerals, making our body not get to that optimal health. B6, we have meat, fish, poultry, legumes. I would encourage you to stay away from there are, on websites, you can find like tofu has B6 in it. So tofu is really, I would definitely consider staying away from things that have soybean in it. And the reason is that we have seen that soybean is very estrogenic in its makeup. And when we ingest more estrogens, our bodies are already making estrogens. Ladies, you're making more estrogen than males are, but males, guess what? We're making estrogen as well. But if we're adding more estrogen to our bodies, we tend to get an imbalance of estrogen and testosterone. And ladies, just so you understand, you are actually making testosterone as well, okay? So we have to have that balance. And I would encourage you to stay away from those soy products. Another place that you can get B6 from is bananas. B7, you can get from whole grains, eggs, and wild-caught fish. Now, you know, we have been on again and off again when it comes to general information about nutrition, about eggs. So some years where eggs are good food, other years eggs are really, really bad food, and then some years vice versa. So I have always advocated eggs. Now, eggs best are going to be free-range eggs. And chickens that are not fed antibiotics, those are going to have great nutrients because they're running around and they're eating what they normally eat, which is mostly bugs. So I am an advocate of eating eggs. Now, if you are allergic to eggs, it's most likely not necessarily the eggs that you're allergic to, but what's in the eggs from what the chicken has eaten or has been exposed to, like antibiotics. So you have to be careful in that situation. And then the final vitamin, water soluble vitamin is vitamin C. And I talked about that at the beginning of the show. But in this particular situation, the best places to get vitamin C from your food is citrus fruit, potatoes, broccoli, bell peppers, spinach, strawberries, tomatoes, and Brussels sprouts. Now, because we need so much vitamin C on a daily basis, so the recommended daily allowance that the federal government has put up, please take that information on all vitamins and minerals with a grain of salt. It's just enough to not allow you to die. I mean, that's the truth of it, okay? So you should be taking an optimal amount of vitamin C and all of the vitamins and minerals. And unfortunately, most medical professionals do not know how much a person should take based on their blood chemistry, their cell biology, their physiology, and their current challenges, the diseases that they've been diagnosed with. So it takes an expert at understanding all of those things in order to develop a proper program for an individual in order to create the right environment. And when you create the right environment, you know that all of the building blocks, which are your vitamins, minerals, and phytochemicals, etc., are at optimal range. And that's where I come in and I do for my patients. So let's talk a little bit about the fat-soluble vitamins. So let's talk about vitamin A. And the vitamin A you can get from beef, liver, eggs, shrimp, fish, milk products, sweet potatoes, carrots, pumpkins, which, we're in the season of pumpkins, spinach, and mangoes. Vitamin D is the same types of foods that I talked about on vitamin A, but fatty fish and cod liver oil are going to be great sources of vitamin D. And of course, going out and getting sunlight on skin that is not slathered in sunscreen. Understand that when you go out in the sun and you slather your skin with sunscreen, you are not allowing the UVA, UVB rays to get to the skin cells that help convert certain nutrients into usable vitamin D. So if you're really thinking that you're getting the right amount of sunlight, most likely you are not. I can tell you that maybe at the high end, 5% of the patients that I test for vitamin D levels, and my level is I don't like to see a patient below 50. Now, the reference range is 30. That's too low. Any range between 0 and 50 is not enough vitamin D that's available for all of the metabolic reactions that happen within the human body. So I always try to get my patients to get up to 50 or above for optimal health and immune system. We're coming into the fall and the winter, and in the fall and the winter, colds start to come on, flu starts to come on. You really need to get your vitamin D level and get the amount of vitamin C on a daily basis. We can't really determine through a blood test how much vitamin C you have because it's only at that moment, because your body uses vitamin C very, very quickly. And so we have to make sure that vitamin C is continuously being put into the body. Vitamin E you get from leafy green vegetables, whole grains, and nuts. And vitamin K you get from cabbage, eggs, raw milk, spinach, broccoli, and kale. So I'm going to talk a little bit about minerals. So the major minerals are going to be calcium, chloride, magnesium, potassium, and sodium. And calcium you get from yogurt, cheese, milk products, salmon, and leafy green vegetables. Chloride you get from salt, but table salt, please don't think that table salt is good food. It is not. What I encourage my patients to eat is sea salt, Himalayan salt, or Celtic salt. All of those salts will provide you great chloride, but also will have an enormous amount of different types of trace minerals, because think of it this way, the ocean was basically the first thing that was created. And in so doing that, you have an enormous amount of wonderful nutrients in ocean water. So I would encourage you to definitely get your salt from the alternatives to table salt. And then you have magnesium, which is spinach, broccoli, legumes, seeds, and wheat. Potassium we get from milk, meat, fruits, vegetables, grains, and legumes. And the trace minerals are chromium, copper, iodine, iron, manganese, and selenium, and zinc. Now, the minerals are, iron is for carrying oxygen, and that's extremely important. Interestingly, vitamin C, once again, vitamin C is such a powerful vitamin. It actually helps you absorb iron. So those of you who have been told that you need to take iron pills by your medical professional, guess what they didn't tell you? They most likely didn't tell you that you also need to take a bunch of vitamin C, because if you are taking iron pills, you are not absorbing that iron unless vitamin C is present. Now, calcium, as we all know, are good for bones, especially before the age of 18. And you have to understand that spinach and beans are your best choices for increasing your calcium. Magnesium is the mineral that helps sleep. So how many of you out there can't get to sleep or have trouble sleeping? Well, guess what? Magnesium is great for sleep. It also helps women if they are having PMS symptoms, and it can be found in pumpkin seeds along with zinc. Potassium, everybody knows that bananas are a great source for that, but also you can get it from greens, sweet potatoes, and wild-caught salmon. Now, a very good choice to eat that has all of these wonderful minerals in them are ancient grains, which include amaranth, buckwheat, farro, freekeh, millet, quinoa, sorghum, and spelt. If you decide to venture into these grains, I would recommend that you cook them in vegetable broth instead of just plain water for extra flavor and micronutrients. Now, unfortunately, of our food, most of our food, as I said earlier, has 50% less nutrients in them compared to 20 years ago. The same holds true for 20 years prior to that. This is due to large-scale farming and growing the same produce on the same land and not allowing it to rest. Even here in the Midwest, very few farmers actually rotate their crops or grow a cover crop to insert vital nutrients back into the ground. If you have a current health challenge or have been diagnosed with a disease, you are not deficient in the drug you are taking for that disease. Let me say that again. You are not deficient in the drug that you're taking for that disease. The interesting thing is that I have always thought, if you're taking a medication, shouldn't eventually you get off of that medication because your body has healed itself? Well, that's not the purpose of the drug. The purpose of the drug is to maintain where your body is at currently, or in the case of, let's say, for instance, blood pressure. It's supposed to decrease your blood pressure. Unfortunately, I have had patients in the past and currently that have been on 4 different blood pressure medications along with 2 water pills that their blood pressure is still way too high. Then they come to me and I give them recommendations on lifestyle changes, dietary changes, and increasing the body's ability to heal. And guess what? They get off of their medications by going back to their doctor and saying, listen, I need you to basically take a look at these medications again. Now, if you are interested in working with someone who has over 3,000 postgraduate credits in nutrition, blood chemistry, biochemistry, physiology, and cell biology, I am taking new patients for those people who are sick and tired of being sick and tired. Now, understand that drugs you are currently taking, although may be important to keep you alive, are not in any way, shape, or form helping you heal. I have taken thousands of patients in the past from having to take multiple medications, reducing or removing all medications once they provide what the body needs in order to be healthy. If you are ready to get back to your old self that you faintly remember from months, years, or decades ago, give my office a call at 563-241-8760 to make an appointment. Also, if you are interested in losing 20 to 35 plus pounds in 6 weeks, I will be doing another presentation in my clinic on the doctor-supervised weight loss program that I created. Seating is limited, so you must call 563-241-8760 to get on the guest list. My next presentation is Monday, October 10th at 6 p.m. The holidays are coming up. What if you were to lose 20 pounds or more and be a glowing picture of health during your holiday gatherings? You would be the envy of all of your friends, family, and coworkers. Once again, the phone number is 563-241-8760. Now, unfortunately, I've run out of time for this program. I will be at the Plus 50 Living Fair at the Vista Grande on Tuesday, October 11th. I would love to meet some of you. I know that you have learned quite a lot of information about the importance of vitamins and minerals and the foods that contain them. If you are interested in watching the video recording of this program, you can go to my website at www.weightloss.com to view it. To view it again, if you were unable to take all of the notes you wanted, implement some of these whole foods to create a better healing environment. Thank you for sharing this half hour with me. It is my hope and wish that everyone will continue to strive for healthy living.